Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for our second series of the day, Peachfish Woof versus SlimOdds. I'm Dessa. I'm being joined by Gloomy, like he was in your first series of the day. So, Gloomy, after that first series, are you ready for the second and our last game of regular season?
I am hyped. After the series that we just had, it was so much fight, so much blood, and I'm so hyped and excited for the next series. The last series of the regular season, this series is gonna decide it all. If it's gonna end on a high note, on a low note, it's everything. Everything matters. Every second, every breath. It's about playoffs. It's about honor. It's about winning it all.
And I mean, already, right? If you look at the first series of the day, Gucci Yang versus Silver Phoenix, and Silver Phoenix, I want to say, looked pretty convincing in that series, went 2-0 against them. And like you said, already we've started the day with a banger of a series. And last week as well, right? Silver Phoenix, another 2-0. So they are going to be ending regular season at having 4-0 on their two last games, which is, I mean, huge for them, right? That's going to put them a lot higher than they would have been had they lost those last two. But going on to our next series and our last one of the night, do you have sort of any expectations coming into this? Do you think this is gonna be more hype than the first series, or do you think it's gonna be less hype?
Um, the thing is, I feel like SlimOdds should be quite favored, so it could be another just bloodbath. But also, what I've seen is that if you underestimate Peter's Wolf, they are gonna grab you by your ankle and just gonna bite it like ngang, 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 like little goblins. And they can be quite unexpectedly strong. If SlimOdds are able to do the right bets, which I think drafting against Peachfish Wolf is like the key to win. If they are able to ban the right key champions like the Aatrox, it should be quite easy for SlimOdds. But if they make the mistake to underestimate these little goblins, they should lose it.
And I think that's the thing as well. In SLE, you sort of look at the lower matchups, and sometimes you're like, we're fine, we can just coast it through. You underestimate your opponent, and suddenly you find yourself in the back foot. So I think no matter who you play against, no matter what team you go up against, it's always important to stay level-headed and go into it with the mindset of we can always lose to any team. But with this being replay cast, we're not gonna have a live draft, and I think with that being said, we should be able to just head straight on and see what sort of champions we have for our selection for the first game at least. And I'm seeing a lot of tanks on the side of SlimOdds to start things off. A Volibear, Malphite, and a Maokai with a Hui Ash versus the Zinza, Ari, Aatrox, Aphelios, and the Tom Kench on the side of Peachfish Wolf.
Well, you know what I said about you need to ban the Aatrox against Peachfish Wolf?
Yeah, they
SlimOdds did
didn't.
not do that. It's a really weird first pick. First, B1 Hui on the side of your SlimOdds. Like, I mean, Hui can be quite a strong champion, but it's not a first pick champion. It's like, I think it's going to be a very hard game for the Hui to play. Enemies having Xin Zhao and Diari. I mean, looking at all these drafts, there's quite a beefy frontline here for SlimOdds for the Ashe and the Hui to try to deal a lot of damage. But, I mean, Ari is just going to, like, cruise by them. And if then Volibear, Malphite, and Maokai try to turn into Ari, Aphelios is just gonna stack his chakrams and just gonna go like dang 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 dang. And should I like Peachfish Wolf's drafting?
Yeah, I think the one thing to me that is a little bit confusing about this is the Ashe. Because Ashe doesn't necessarily do the most DPS when you think of AD carries. And when you're going for this comp where you want to have two carries and sort of three main people in the front lines, Ashe isn't the sort of AD carry that comes to my mind that you're gonna want to go for. Something like a Jinx, who can really output damage from the backline, I think would suit them better. Or potentially something like a Vayne as well, but I also don't think Vayne Makai a great lane pairing. So I can understand why they didn't go for that one, but like you said, the Hui not gonna be easy to pilot. Hui as a champion overall is not an easy champion to play considering he's got double the abilities of everyone else in the game, and it's gonna be an interesting game as well because if you look at the comp of SlimOdds, it's pretty stock standard, I wanna say, right? You've got some frontline and you've got some backline, where on the side of Peachfish Wolf, there's a lot more sort of room to show, right? I think a lot more skill expression as well.
Yeah, I mean, definitely more skill expression indeed. You're on the side of yeah, I can talk. Peach, Fish, Wolf. God, I have it today. The thing, what I wanted to say about the Ash build is, do you know the Kanze Ash build?
The Kanze Ash build, lay it on me. Lay it on me.
Um, unless it changed, it was like, I think, Kraken into Rage Blade into Runan. I could be wrong. Take it with a grain of salt. But with that build, you do the DPS that you want from the AD carry here. So maybe the Ash is gonna go for Rage Blade.
Could be, and I mean, there is a lot of frontline on the opposing side, right? You are looking at an Aatrox running at you, a Tahm Kench, and a Xin Zhao. Now, granted, 9 times out of 10, if the Xin Zhao does have his ultimate, you're not actually gonna be able to be close enough to damage him while that duration is up, so it is more so up against the Aatrox and Tahm Kench. And don't get me wrong, Ash is a fantastic pick up against something like an Aatrox, because Aatrox doesn't have a ton of gap closing, especially if you've got so many tanks in front of you. So if you can slow down the Aatrox and make his life very sad, you're gonna have a good time. But already as we head on to the Rift, seeing a very aggressive position here out of PFW.
I do like it, but I don't think anything is gonna happen from it. SlimOdds are gonna just walk into the top side jungle, place a ward, get the free vision uncontested, so it quite backfired. I mean, what they probably did is they walked forward here to the third brush to just safely get their bot lane there, so they can just try to fight level 1. But I'm not sure if Aphelios and Tahm Kench want to fight level 1 against the Ash Maokai.
I think this is a fight you're gonna want to try and avoid. If you can, especially looking at the summoner spells, looking at Ignite and General Decoy versus Karma's Heal. And Heal generally a much more defensive summoner spell instead of an offensive one, so I don't think this is a 2v2 you want to take already in the bot lane. You can see them stepping up a little bit. I think Stoosh does know something is up, just waiting for the wave to arrive. And now he's gonna walk in, should be able to get this into safety. So, no early 2v2 in the bot lane, neither team wants to take the risk, but already seeing that PFW are willing to position aggressively and willing to take these early game fights.
Yeah, I mean that's what you want to see, right? You want to see them standing there proud and aggressively, but Willisang going in for the invade here, grabbing the pretty much free blue buff, as they have seen that since I was starting top lane, as he has used the Oracle Lens for the ward. But you gotta report TZL here, because he did Oracle Lens the ward and take it, but he did not share it, so none of his laners gonna get the XP bonus.
That is an X9, my jungle in chat, and it does mean that none of the laners are gonna get an early XP lead, but the bot lane of PFW needs to be a little bit careful here, because Willisang is in great position for an early gank here if he does want to go for it, and he is.
He's gonna go for it. After just splitting the jungle, he's now gonna gank. He is finding the Aphelios. He's just gonna force out the cleanse, and now Karma is in a really bad position. He has to flash out, but nothing more is gonna come out of it. They force both summoner spells of the Tahm Kench and the cleanse of Aphelios. You are happy with that.
And that's a great gank already, like you said, all summoners out of Karma, cleanse out of Last Impression. You would have also liked to get the Aphelios splash, but he is gonna be able to savor it, at least for the moment. A little bit of an invade towards the top side of the map. You can see TZL is gonna use the information they had off that bot lane gank, and he's gonna should take the entire top side here off Willisang, which means there will be a little bit of a CS lead here for TSL exchanged for a little bit of early pressure, but so far I'm liking the start that SlimOdds have had.
Yeah, I like it as well, especially if you look at it, the jungle now is split, and you can see the Xin Zhao has basically no way to try to help his bot lane, and you do have an Aphelios, you do have a Tahm Kench, you want to get gold into this hyper carry, but with the jungle split, what Willisang just did here, there's just no way for the Xin Zhao to even be down there, and if you're SlimOdds here, you're like, okay, yeah, you can try to gank the Malphite, have fun ganking the tank, like, oh no, we're gonna have a 2 deaths Malphite. Well, who cares when we're gonna have like a 6 Kalash at the end of the game. It's really, really nice map split here.
Yeah, and I mean, you already saw it in the earlier series. I might have to hold that thought as there's a gank in the middle.
Oh, there's a beautiful dive here in the mid lane. SOK, nice flash to get out of it. TZL is gonna follow up instantly. The Aphelios is one shot. Since Zhao has no flash available, Fear is coming through, and what a close call here on both sides.
As a very close call, Sok just got that flash out in time, and Juni as well ends up burning his own flash there, lives with a sliver of health as they're ganking the top lane.
There's just non-stop ganking, no break, but I think No Longer Human has nothing to really worry about. Willisang is just it's stepping up, but the Atrix here doesn't even have to flash.
Yeah, and this is just Willis, and like you said, it is just gank after gank out of this Volibear, really just trying to exert his pressure early on, which is good to see because Volibear, one of those champions, where when you've got that stun and you've got a little bit of setup out of your lanes on their own, which granted they do have this game, setting up ganks tends to be really, really easy on the champion, but you can see as well TZL pinging towards this first dragon is a Hextech dragon, would be big to secure, but a mod lane gank.
No way is ganking bot lane. This is very unconventional to see, but it should be really free. Karma is now being rooted here. CC stacking is coming through. There's nobody coming out. Trustpad is going into the pocket of the Ashe. Now they are trying to focus on last impression. He still has the flash available, but doesn't need to use it coming out with his live off edge. Oh my goodness. Stooge now flashing forward. Genie peeling his ADC beautifully. That was a gorgeous double kill. Now SOK moving down to the bot lane. The bot lane of SlimOdds is really, really low, but Peachfish Woof not going for anything more.
Oh, report TZL. He just doesn't block the sapling there, just walks away. A great gank here out of Ginny. Karma, just like we said, no Suns was burnt earlier on, ends up dying. And here, the sapling gets tossed out and TZL doesn't stand in the way. He just walks away and it's so sad to see. Last impression ends up falling and unfortunately the synergy just not quite there. TZL should be able to secure a dragon, so Hextech Drake is gonna be traded for some grubs now. No Longer Human gonna get spotted here, but no fight to be had. It is just gonna be a trade of objectives. SlimOdds are gonna have a 2-kill lead.
It's now very good start here for SlimOdds, 72 kill lead. And as troll as it might sound, I think it's actually good that TZL didn't dodge and let Maokai get the kill, because otherwise the Ashe would have got the kill. And I think it's better to have a kill on Maokai than on the Ashe, if you're Peach's Wolf here.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely fair enough. Gold on, generally, just gold on carries does mean more than gold on tanks, especially when you're looking at the comp of SlimOdds, right? Where you have just the 2 carries. So any gold you can get into them is gonna be big. No Longer Human is a little bit low HP, so if he steps up a little bit too far, Bannerex with that unstoppable force, I think can definitely look for a one-shot. But so far, SOK in the mid lane, struggling a little bit, although he does have a little bit of a CS lead, but his health not looking too good.
He's getting completely bullied in terms of trading. Probably having the CS lead from the roam that Hui did. I mean, it's quite unconventional for Hui to roam this early, because you just want to focus on the CS. You just want to get going with the gold there slowly but surely. But Ginny just like being like, oh, I don't care what's conventional. I'm gonna roam bot lane. I'm gonna get 2 kills like for the T. But now some nice trading. Bannerex dodging everything, and TZL is looking for a gank. Bannerex does have the flash and the ultimate available. He's either going to try to go for a 1-1 trade or just going to go out safely. No Longer Human popped the ultimate, the World Ender. CC is being connected. Bannerex using the flash, not his ultimate, which I think is weird, but he is out now.
Yeah, and that's a little bit confusing to me. I feel like a little bit just not willing to use the ultimate there.
We are seeing an engage here. Karma is trying to fight. Last impression is stacking the shotguns, but Willisang is here to help out his bot lane. Karma now flashing out passively, using the heal. SOK is being here as well. One more ult stack is there. Ginny spotting him though, and they are not gonna go for anything more.
And that is a beautiful bait out of the bot lane of SlimOdds. Karma just a little bit too aggressive. And he just got his flashback. SOK in trouble though.
More fighting though. SOK does not have the flash available yet. The general decoy engaging onto the Karma, who just used flash. Tam Kench is being cancelled. It was a 1-for-1 though. Aphelios did get a kill back onto the Maokai.
Yeah, it does end up being a 1-for-1 at the end of the day, but again, it's more gold into the pocket of SlimOdds. And looking at where the kills are, they are gonna be on Willisang. And I know I said 3 tanks in draft, but Volibear is one of those champions, especially where you go, if you go that Thunder in Sky build, that we are seeing more and more, as I might have to hold that thought, a potential ganker on the bot lane.
Oh, the Crystal Arrow with Crowley's comment was there to say hello, and now last impression stepping up aggressively, maybe gonna try to fight, but just a little trading.
Yeah, it's just gonna get a little bit of damage back, and if Willison does go with that Thunder Sky, he's gonna do a lot of damage as well. General decoy up towards the top lane.
Ooh, they are now gonna try to go into no longer human. Benerex has the ultimate available, no longer human has the flash though. He flashes a bit too early, but Benerex deciding not to ult out. I am very confused by his ult choices.
I think Banerax might have his R unkey-binded. I don't think the keybind's there. He seems to be holding it for a lot of these situations, but hold on. No longer human, he's still walking up. Look at his HP, not the healthiest person in the world. If we can look at top lane quickly, I think Benerex might have a freeze here as well. He does actually just have a freeze. He's gonna break it now. So trying to push this in, as you can see, no longer human. He is pinging for the grub, so he does want to try go for those. But Benerex now,
Is he gonna use his ultimate? We are having the 1v1 here, no longer human.
There it is.
Activates the World Anger. He did finally use the ultimate, and it's just probably gonna be a solo bull. No longer human can nothing he can do, and she's gonna get rolled down by the stone.
and Benerex, he finally learned, maybe I should use my Unstoppable Force. It seems to be a pretty big tool in my kit General Decoy now.
Oh, there is more fighting. The charm goes wide. General Decoy just flashing over. Tom Kench just hanking arrows.
It does just seem like there's a lot of fighting in this bot lane, but not a lot of it seems to be leading to a kill. Willisang now gonna be able to secure some more grubs for himself. That is gonna be 6 grubs for the side of SlimOdds. Now TCL looking for a gank towards the mid lane. Keep in mind Sock with the Spirit Rush can very easily set this up as well. Genie does need to be a little bit careful here.
Genie. Oh, yeah, okay. Genie spotting the jungle that he resets, so now you can maybe play a little bit more aggressive, as you know that TZL is not in range here, but I'm not sure if he even wants to fight aggressively. But talking about aggressively, the Drake is gonna be up any second now.
A dragon gonna be spawning here. Keep in mind this is a mountain dragon as well, which does eliminate 2 pretty damn good souls out of this game. So it's gonna be interesting to see which one this does end up being. And you can see Banerex's ultimate is almost about to come up, but teleport as well, which means if they want to try to go for a potential play towards this bot side of the map, as it's gonna be a Chemtech soul. Not the most useful one in the world, but last impression could be in trouble.
Yeah, we see an engage here. Karma is being rooted up. There's so much CC. No way that Tom Kench can do anything. Another kill for Ash, and you just poor bot lane is getting bullied.
Yeah, I gotta admit, Gloomy, last impression is not having a good time right now. So much attention to put this Aphelios behind, no longer human. He does seem to be struggling a little bit in this top lane, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really hard matchup for the Aatrox. I think Malphite is historically a very common counterpick into this pick, but no longer human overall, a very good Aatrox player, even being somehow up in CS, but there is a little bit trading now in the bot lane, but nothing more gonna come out of it. General Decoy joining Willisang, but back to the top lane matchup. Well, we are back to top lane, but this time for a gank. Benerex has the ultimate available, nothing to worry about. The movement speed from the Q is just disgusting.
That is insane. He just presses Q and walks away. He just doesn't care that he's there. Willisang though in the bot lane.
Last impression, getting bullied completely once again. There's so much CC coming through. A teleport is now coming from no longer human, trying to join his team to maybe get something back. Willisang is going extremely low. Last impression getting a big shutdown. 2 kills on the side here for Beatrice Woof. Last impression still alive. Shutdown. What?
Oh, it's okay, potentially in trouble here, but should be fine. Ginny Trill's trying to make a run for the hills, but might be able to get himself on out, and that is a disaster for the side of SlimOdds. Last impression finally has had enough and gets to fight back, and this was a great devour out of Karma as well, but it all starts Willis and tries to take the 1v1, but you can just see how much damage out of last impression there onto the Volibear. The great flash out of him, but look at this save from Karma, just 1 HP. Ends up getting in the Devour. Stu is just not able to finish off the kill with the shield that last impression gets, and that's okay. Almost ends up falling there as well.
Last impression died.
Quite enough damage, and last impression is dead. We have gotten word that Ginny apparently got the shutdown, and that is gloomy. That is a lot of gold into a Hui.
Yeah, and you like gold into a Hui when you are the Hui. Hui is a champion, like, you can deal so much damage once you reach these like crucial spikes of like items. And yeah, I mean, you're happy.
Yeah, especially if you can pave your way into a victory, like Ginny should be able to do with that shutdown, should be a lot easier for them as well. And this Rift Herald gonna be secured here for the side of SlimOdds. It'll be interesting to see where they end up going with this. Potentially, I feel like the mid lane might be their best bet. But what do you think? Where, if you were on their team,
Oh,
you'd want this
well,
to
I
go?
don't know about that, but there was a beautiful crystal arrow connecting onto SOK. He does have the Spirit Rush available, but does decide not to use it, does not need to use it. As SOK is running down to his team, Willisang chasing a little bit longer than he needs to, but now clearing the ward. But back to your question, I would probably use the Herald in the mid lane. But there is now a dive in the bot lane, no time for heralding anywhere. Genie trying to walk to outplay something a little bit. The Devour coming through from Karma is just a clean tower dive. And talk about tower dives, the Ahri is also being tower dive, but it's just being taken. Never mind. Oh,
Oh, it just gets the dash in Bannerx with a solo bolo in the top lane. Tideway, no longer human, just ends up getting demolished in that top lane. And look at those 6 grubs as well. A lot of tower damage out of Stush. And I gotta admit, that entire sequence was pretty odd, I wanna say, but a massive favor for the side of SlimOdds, and they are gonna be very happy with that.
they are very happy with that indeed. You would say it's odd. Would you even say it's slim odd? In the case being onto SOK, Spirit Rush is finally being used. 1-for-1 being traded here though.
Oh, I like it. You know what? I like it.
Thank you.
I'm here for every dad joke you have in your book.
I have quite a lot of them, I can tell you that. But yeah, we have seen a pretty nice 1-for-1 trade here, which is, I think, overall quite favorable for Peach's Wolf, as it was a kill onto the Ahri versus a kill onto the Maokai.
Oh
And
yeah, for sure.
also bot lane tower being taken, by the way. And just, I mean, game is, as much as the Goatly says differently, it feels a lot closer than it looks like.
I think it is just where the kills are at, because if you look at the kills on side of PFW, they are pretty much all on last impression. So I'm seeing some aggressive steps towards the
Oh,
mid
Chris
lane.
Arrow being connected onto last impression, talking about him. Beautiful Devour to try to save him. No longer human, trying to do a lot of damage, but the stone just doesn't take any damage. Genie
Oh.
uses ultimate onto last impression. Is he gonna be able to die? He's just gonna get popped.
God.
Now, it's okay, joining with the Spirit Rush. So is he gonna be able to save something? T-Flat is being watched. Genie on the flank, just unharmed, dealing so much damage like a magic machine gun. T-Flat oh. Well, I just got edged.
That was so damn close. TSL almost ends up falling. A dragon gonna be secured as well. If you're onto SOK,
Oh, that's okay. It's gonna get out of it alive somehow. Taking. Oh, Genie is a sniper.
bro, Genie is trying his best to get this long range snipes in, but speaking of snipes, his ultimate here onto last impression and the combo to follow up absolutely gorgeous. And this is what I was talking about. Look at No Longer Human versus Tush. He just cannot move with dash permanently, slowing him as we have another fight.
Running into another fight instantly. T-Flat is just being instantly one shot by the Willisang. Now the focus is being turned onto last impression here as well. He is just gonna get killed by Stoosh. Karma flashing over it. SOK now has the Spirit Rush available, but does not need to use it. Just 2-for-0.
Is on 2-for-0, and again, SlimOdds playing this game really, really well so far, and those 6 grabs with this tier 2 being taken down towards the bot side of the map, again, gonna come very handy. SOK might try look for something here. Keep in mind, Spirit Rush is still available, but he's gonna get spotted out.
He's gonna just spot it out indeed. I think he should just get out. Willisang uses his flash very aggressively, but just probably gonna fall here to SOK. No, he gets the stun, he gets the heal. He does not get the heal. He's just gonna get one shot. SOK, but no more stacks of Spirit Rush, but the charm connects. It should be a free kill onto Ginny. Ginny, he has to use the beautiful CC. SOK being feared after flashing onto Ginny. Ginny now using the thingies, the healing fruits. Now it's a very split fight. No longer human is onto Ginny. Should get the free kill. Finally getting another kill. The Aatrox pick maybe starting to look a lot better than it did during the laning phase.
Yeah, Ginny just sends everyone on the side of PFW into a little bit of an adventure that refuses to die. And like you said, Gloomy eats up a little bit of those honey fruits as well, just to get a little bit of extra HP. Unfortunately, not enough to get him out this time around, but a damn good try. And Bannerx as well, slowly but surely is getting a little bit more tankier. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up, because the only magic damage on the side of PFW is gonna be SOK. And he is 1-1-3 at the moment, Malignant is finished up, but I think if Banarex gets enough health, he's gonna be pretty unkillable and pretty tanky for the side of PFW, because I don't think this Ari is gonna be enough to deal with the Malphite.
Yeah, I mean, Ari usually not that much of a tank killer. I know, shocker, but yeah, the Malfish is going to be so tanky. I mean, I think once the Aphelios reaches his like 4 or 5 items, he can shred through him as it is Aphelios. Getting Aphelios gets armor pen from his passive, right? Or was it lethality?
It's lethality.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I'm delusional. I mean, it should still. Aphelios is gonna shred through him at some point of the game, but it's important for Peach's Woof to be able to reach that point of the game and to peel him as well, as we saw the last fight where he just got one shot instantly by everything around him.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think if this game does get that far, Last Impression is gonna be, I think, the one and only tool that is gonna be able to deal with the Malphite. But I'm also going off of the assumption that we're not gonna get there based on how far this game, or how this game has gone this far. Because the side of SlimOdds just seem to be able to push their lead very quickly and has been able to accelerate the game quite well. Stush gonna be able to start the Baron buff here, and they're actually gonna commit onto this, but you can see the side of PFW, they're trying to go for Genie.
Oh, Spirit Rush is being used on Ginny now, finally being charmed. No flash available. He's trying to trade back with his ultimate, but that's okay. Just gonna... Last Impression even gets the kill. Now the fight is going on further. They are engaging on TZL, but his team is there. They have the man advantage. Ginny is not there, which has been a big play in the last few fights. Beautiful method ultimate, hitting 3 people, but Karma saving his mid lane. And now Benarix flashing forward to finally kill the mid laner. No longer human, tanking the crystal arrow. Benarix finally dying. No longer human, is stalling time for his team to join in, flashing forward. Beautiful. Oh my goodness, what is happening right now? So now Willisang is dying to the CC from the Aphelios.
Willisang just kind of walks in there and donates himself over to the side of PFW, but a great fight out of them, and look at this unstoppable force out of Banarex. Even the 4 men is not enough, and it feels like a little for rushed engage. It lands onto everybody and doesn't end up netting him SOK, which is 1 kill back, but the rest of the team just completely gangs up onto Banarex. No tools left after that, and a little bit of an aggressive flash. At Last Impression here, Willisang kind of just walks up for no reason after the fight, tries to save someone who was already gone, considering that the Makai flashed over the wall, but Baron's still gonna be on the cards, and with PFW winning that fight, they are gonna be able to claw back some of this gold lead, but it is still 5,000 the way SlimOdds.
Yeah, I mean, it still feels so much closer than that. I mean, here they just got Ginny pick, and SlimOdds had nothing they could do against the combo of Peach's Wolf. SlimOdds feels very disorganized during these fights. They don't play on the same page, it feels like, but maybe they try to play on the same page now. Chris Lever connects with the T-side, but nothing more happening. Maybe Benarix does have the unstoppable force, using it onto the front now, which is quite weird. Now they are trying to play it front to back, slowly getting a free pick on the T-side. Last Impression is still untouched, so Charm is connecting onto Willisang. Now they are trying to turn onto Karma, and Last Impression can just hit for free. Now, not anymore, SOK activated the Spirit Rush, and Peach's Woof just isn't hitting back.
Yeah, it's another team fight win over to the side of SlimOdds, and I think the big key, like you said, is just them being a little bit disorganized. Yes, that fight did go their way, but Willisang almost walks in a little bit too far, ends up just having to turn back and almost dies. I feel like the guns weren't ideal on Last Impression either. Infinity and Kraken both now finished up, but a great unstoppable force at the start for Banarex onto 2 people, and the follow-up, you can see Willisang, he almost ends up dying there, does get turned on, and just not quite enough damage. The plant there is great out of Banarex and Ginny, and that is the use of those Chemtech Bloom plants. As Willisang, we go back into live, and he's again almost dead.
He had to flash out, and also he's a little bit electrifying right now. Ginny just clearing the way through the mid lane, and I mean, they just almost got a pick here on the Willisang. Badly for Peach's Wolf, not fully a pick. But what I saw from the last fight, what I just wanted to mention, is Banarex face tanking the Aphelios ultimate, which I think was the play that decided the fight. I think if Last Impression was able to hit the backline with his ultimate and deal a lot more damage, or just at least on the volley back, could have gone a lot differently.
Oh, for sure. And I think overall, as I might have to hold that thought, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow gonna be enough to bait out TSL's ultimate, but they are gonna be able to walk away. And Bannerex, I feel like if we ignore the first couple of minutes where he sort of just held onto his ultimate for no reason, I think he's had a pretty good game for himself, has found a lot of big ultimates as Baron gonna be started up here, while no longer human, he's just playing in the bot lane.
Another he was just gonna try to. I mean, they're probably just going like, "Hey, let me try to steal. We're not gonna fight this ain't the way that." Oh no, SOK is gonna spirit rush forward. Very
Oh
weirdly,
my
he
god.
does hit the charm onto Ginny, but she's just probably gonna die. TZL dashing in way too much. Now, no longer human decides to teleport. World Ender is activated, and they are trying to peel for last impression. Last impression hitting Willisang. He dies once more. That is a dead bear, and the flowers are blooming in the Antarctic.
And again, speaking of the bloom, that was a beautiful plant by the Malphite to be able to get TSL into the pit. And Baron is gonna go the way of SlimOdds, but now the mid-tier one gonna be under threat. They should be easily secured by
Oh, Charm
PFW.
connects beautifully. General Decoy just has to dash forward. Now gonna get killed instantly. It was a tower with the shutdown and the kill.
And I was a little bit skeptical of the teleport there out of No Longer Human, but it does seem to work out. And look at this plant out of Bannerex. TSL completely gets swinged into the pit. A beautiful play out of the top laner of SlimOdds. And the fight afterwards, it is good for a last impression. He does end up picking up a kill, a very great out of him to be able to use those guns. You can just see how much those chakrams end up doing damage if you've got the correct guns. So like we said earlier, last impression gonna be a big tool if the side of PFW are gonna want to take this game.
Yeah, I mean, last impression, his first impression maybe wasn't that good this game, but he keeps on trying to hold Peach's Woof into the game, dealing a lot of damage during these fights, trying to do whatever he can. Like you said, also, I was very skeptical about the teleport from Nolan Human. I feel like he should have teleported a little bit earlier. He did miss the cannon, so replays top lane.
-1.
-1. No longer human, still up in CS though at this point of the game, but Bannerex is just such a machine. He
Oh yeah,
just
for sure.
that there. But yeah,
I
like you
mean,
said, at the early game he did not press his ultimate. I thought he's gonna save them for playoffs, but
he is a very big rock at the moment. He's very rock hard.
oh, that's okay. Dashing forward, Charm goes wide, but she keeps on trying to go for more. Now TZL is taking the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. That's okay, missing the next Charm and just
Oh my
dies.
god.
And this is just a disaster. That should be game.
Ah, and Gloomix, again, it's Bannerex who finds the back line. These unstoppable forces have been great
Oh,
out of
no
him
longer
if there's a
human
1v1.
solo bolos onto Ginny.
I mean, that's a solo ball, but I don't think it's gonna matter at all too much because he might be winning the bot lane, but his Nexus is about to be damn on fire as the side of SlimOdds are pushing this down.
Well, how much gold does the kill give? How much gold does the Nexus give? But we are seeing them go onto no longer human. They want to get the kill maybe before they end the game. No, they decide to be calm. They decide to be smart, and they just end the game. And no longer human tilts leaves the game early.
And that is a rage quit out of No Longer Human. He doesn't even want to watch his Nexus blow up. He's just completely gone. And we said these games were gonna be hype, but Gloomy, like, damn, what a first game out of SlimOdds, right? That was, I think, pretty well played out of them.
Yeah, I mean, also of like Willis saying going a little bit too far sometimes, or Ginny being in very weird positions. I think SlimOdds played this very beautifully, except especially Bannerex. Like we said multiple times, his early game ult usage was maybe questionable, but after some time he was like, okay, I didn't ult so that I could channel it. He went into Super Stone Saiyan 2 and just hit everything.
And it's just, giving them a false sense of security. Not pressing ult for like the first 15 minutes of the game, making them think that maybe he's not going to use it for the entire game, and then bang, it just comes out of nowhere. Absolutely just takes any odds that PFW had and just completely stomps them onto the ground. And overall, like you said, a great game out of the SlimOdds squad, but Stoosh ends the game 7-1-7. And this Ash pick, which I wasn't entirely convinced on or sure about, he definitely proved me wrong.
I mean, I think it's kind of weird. Like he was 7-1-7, and like I don't want to take anything away from him, but during the fights, he just seemed kind of invisible. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like he wasn't there. I'm sure he did a lot of damage, but he was just like kind of a sneaky ninja. He was like the shadow. He was carrying the games from the shadow. He wasn't there. He wasn't flashy. Nobody could see it, but he was a looming force.
I mean, that's definitely true because my eyes were on Bannerex for most of that game. I was just looking at all the ultimates go in, a great usage of the Unstoppable Force for him, and I do gotta be a little bit critical though, because Gloomy, you mentioned it earlier yourself. Willisang, I feel like didn't have a great game for himself. I feel like there was a few too many mistakes out of him and just going in a little bit too early and a little bit too earlier than the rest of his team would have wanted, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, his early game was incredible, and I feel like he just had so much euphoria in him that he was like, "Let's go, follow me," and then it was too much. Yeah, he was too excited. He got the Jinx passive.
Yeah, he unfortunately got a little bit too excited, but still, SlimOdds are managing to take this game one, and we should be ready to head into the draft of game two as well. I'll be excited to see what sort of changes come out of PFW here. I'm seeing a Zaya, I'm seeing a Yone, a Zaya Rakan lane does always excite me, but it's the Ashe again on the side of SlimOdds, and Gloomy, are my eyes deceiving me, or is that a Darius?
It is a Darius indeed. The Darius pick was banned in the first game from Peach's Wolf. They banned Olaf and Darius, the Adam champ pool. I mean, Darius, like, I don't think it's that good into Gragas, as Gragas is just not gonna die against you, and you kind of want to kill the enemy as Darius. But what confuses me even more is the Asol pick into the Yone.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough game, I feel like, for him, and a rough laning phase at least. Because, like you said, Yone, it's not a great matchup for him. But I'm mostly looking at this top lane, right? Because I think I think you've hit the nail in the coffin there, right? This Gragas, as long as he's got body slam up, he should never die, right? And I feel like when you are Darius, you wanna get a lead. You wanna get kills in the early game. You wanna pressure your opponent, but that's not the easy thing to do against Gragas. So unless there's massive missteps, I feel like on the top lane of PFW, this should be an easy top lane laning phase for him. But I'm looking at the bot lane of the map as well, because Zaya Rakan, a very strong laning phase, gonna be coming out of those two.
Yeah, Rakan it's the bot lane, right? The lovers duo. I mean, on the other side you have an Ashe Braum, which is just gonna slow you to death, and you're gonna like want to cry. But I feel like if Rakan plays it well, they're gonna take the slow into like a slow dance and just use the power of love to defeat the 2v2. I feel like the skill expression here on the Rakan side is pretty high, and if they play it well enough, they should win the 2v2 matchup.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm a little bit confused as well, because I believe, if I'm not completely wrong, this is Zaya picked into Ashe, just because it would be B1, the Ivern, and generally Zaya or Ashe is considered Zaya is considered one of the best matchups for Ashe. Probably Zaya's biggest counter is the Ashe, just because of those slows, and if you can space yourself out properly and correctly, you can just outrange the Zaya for most of the game. And Braum as well, a very defensive champion, generally considered the biggest counter to Zaya as well. So I think draft-wise, SlimOdds have done a great job with this bot lane. It's only the Asol to me that's sort of the biggest question mark, and I feel like it's gonna be really hard for this mid and this top lane to be able to do anything in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel, and they probably picked a Zaya as an answer, so that I can't just dash onto her, but still not that good into Ashe, like you said. But like you also then mentioned after the Asol pick, I really hate it here. They already showed the Yone, which is like a champ that will dive into your face, and Asol hates it when people dive into his face. That's why like his biggest counters also have picks like the Silas, the Akali, the LeBlanc, the Yone. These are champions that you don't want to play into it when you're an Asol, and they just picked it like straight. They maybe expected it to be a Yone top lane, but I really pick here as well. The Ivern and the Yone can do so much work. When Ivern hits like the root caller, just hits this Q, Yone can just dash into melee range with it and just kill.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, and I'm glad you did mention the Ivern and gave us a great segue into that because Iron is a champion that we've seen a lot during this split already, and sort of tends to be a champion we see a lot in SLE overall because no matter what split it is, no matter what meta it is, this champion seems to just always creep his way into the game, and this time it has happened as well. So far, seeing no early invades like we saw last game, as we are gonna get into the Rift for our second game of the day, and I feel like how this mid lane goes is gonna tell us a lot because mid lane prio tends to be really, really important, especially in a 5v5 setting, just to be able to secure objectives and if you wanna go for any aggressive invades. And I feel like all the mid lane prio should be on the side of PFW this game.
PFW should have 24/7 mid prio, as well as the way that you play around mid prio is mid lane plays a bit differently with the prio than the other roles. It's more about trading resources in the end of the day. When you use a spell, you use mana. When you trade a fight, you use health as the resource. And in the end, this Yone just has so much many more resources to use for the push with like having no mana, having this free E for safety, so he can just push the wave aggressively. And even if the enemy tries to gank, he's just gonna snap back and he's fine. And Ginny just like if he tries to push back against the Yona, he's just gonna use the mana, which is his resource, and he's gonna lose all of the mana. And even if he has an even push, I'm gonna talk about it a bit later. There's been a little bit of a knock-up onto Stooge. Beautiful trade here. And I think I made my point clear about the mid.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so far already seeing some early aggression, and I gotta say, I feel like a little bit of a misstep out of Stooge because I was about to commend him for his awareness, right? The volley into the bush, he knows something's up, but he kind of just walks into the grand entrance anyway, loses about half of his health. And Zyra Khan level 1 is one of the strongest lanes in the game, and not something you want to fight, as Stooge already can see he had to burn Flash just because of the early level 2 for the side of PFW, which means that is an early Flash. It's gonna be on cooldown for a while.
Yeah, and that's just a disaster for SlimOdds here. The Rakan is just gonna try to punish you 24/7. They did trade the flashes, so Rakan probably just flash W'd onto her face, but still one misstep from the Ashe right now and it's over. Ivern, especially in the jungle, Ivern is a jungler that can gank more in the early game than other junglers, as he has different timers. He changes the way the map is played, right? And they can just easily abuse it, even though Willisang is probably gonna be Willisang is going to be here to cover it, to try to force it into a 3v3, but we have to summon a Peach's Wolf has the flash onto the Xayah, while the Ashe does not have the flash, so I would favor Peach's Wolf here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think if you can find a way to dive onto Stooge, you can pretty much one-shot him unless General Decoy can dissuade most of that damage coming through. So it's gonna be, I think, interesting to see how they end up playing it out if it does go into that 3v3. But so far we are seeing TZL just go for the bot lane. Crab here should be able to smite this one away. I'm assuming is gonna be doing just that. So Willisang gonna be down a crab, at least for the moment, but might go for a cheeky little gank in the bot lane, although the wave is not great for it.
Yeah, the wave is not great for it indeed, and I'm sure the Peach's Wolf bot lane has to be aware of it, right? They've seen the Zac there, and no, wait, no, Karma's not aware of it. He just steps up into the den of the dragon, and he's just Rakan, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages of playing Zyra Rakan. Your dash range is just so big that you can generally, if last impression is anywhere within the vicinity, you can just dash your way out. But now the mid lane SOK might be in trouble.
Willisang engaging onto SOK here, using the CC, everything. SOK, maybe the snapback here. I don't know if I like the E usage here of SOK. He just gets out without using the flash, but I think he took more damage than needed to.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the E there was a little bit unnecessary. Stooge,
Oh wait,
though.
now beautiful dive here onto Stooge. Stooge, like we said before, had no flash available. Karma now into 1v1 versus Stooge. It's the support versus ADC fight. Now they're turning onto General Decoy. Willisang flashing forward, missing now onto SOK, and SOK probably dead here. Oh wait, no mana onto Ginny. TSL is here to cover. The shields are so big. Ivan for sure is a balanced champion, by the way. And now they're just gonna run down Ginny. He shouldn't even flash, right? Oh no!
Oh my god.
Oh, ay caramba.
Oh, it is a disaster. for PFW, somehow, out of all of that, Ginny ends up being the one who secures first blood, and it's a great sight if you are a fan of SlimOdds because you want this ASOL to get ahead in the early game. And the flash unfortunately doesn't work out here, but it's okay again. I can't tell whether this was a great bait out of him or whether he just doesn't understand how the ultimate or how his E works, because he just ends up getting TP'd back there, and it's like a sliver of HP that Ginny ends up living on a great recommit out of Willisang right there, and just the great teamwork out of the mid jungle of SlimOdds.
SOK, Void. I'm gonna talk about what I wanted to say in quite a second. They are having a fight. Incredible healing coming out from Banner, which is an instant one-shot coming through. Willisang being everywhere where he needs to be in the early game.
Now, so far, Willisang is doing a great job in the early game of influencing the map, as Ginny is gonna go to dodge out on the Fate Sealed right there. SOK just throwing it a little bit wide.
It is wide indeed. Not trying to redeem himself, what I'm seeing here. What I wanted to say about the first blood from the ASOL, I feel like Yon accidentally canceled an auto attack because of the dash from the Ivan. He wanted to click for auto attack, but since the root call of Ivan hit, it turned into a dash instead of the auto attack, which then was the missing damage for the first blood onto the ASOL, which I find quite comical.
I mean, yeah, and sometimes it is just the little margins, right? Like, sometimes it's just the little things that end up making the difference. As Ginny, again, and this is kind of what we talked about, right? He got the first blood, which is a great start for him, right? But that doesn't really change how this laning phase works. It's not going to be any better for him. You can just see how easy it is for SOK to just abuse the ASOL in the laning phase.
Yeah, somebody call the police because that is a domestic relationship right there. Uh, the Drake is now being taken by Peachfish Wolf. Willisang not trying to contest, just taking his Wolf, so it should just be pretty free Drake.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Hextech Drake as well, which gives you some of that extra added attack speed, some of that ability haste, both great stats to have regardless of the champion you play. Generally, if we're gonna walk over, it's gonna place a little bit of a ward, but this one, like you said, Gloomy, should be gone, although they might look for a fight.
Willisang is now trying to engage. The initial engage doesn't hit, but
Oh.
Enchanted Crystal, a beautiful engage now. The ASOL ult connects as well. TZL should do. Oh, is he the shield? Does he have to queue for the red buff? He dies before that. Very close, but in the end they do get the kill onto Ivan.
And what a great arrow out of Stoosh right there. Just great sniper move coming out from the Ashe. Willisang should be able to secure a red buff off the back end of that as well. Potentially could go for the Krugs, but so far this early game going the way of SlimOdds, all the kills are gonna be going to Willisang. And Zach, as much of a tank he is, we all know how much damage he can do in these fights as well, so definitely someone who you want kills on.
Talking about the fights, Ivan took the crux in his face. Now the button is here to support him as well. Willisang will probably try to dash out. The Rakan not Wing him for some reason, but yeah, now they're turning on SOK. He does not have the flash available yet, but they are not gonna try to kill him.
TSL just kind of walks over and just says, "What are you doing in my jungle? These are mine." And she goes, yoink, and ends up securing some more of those Krugs for himself. But it's still a gold lead for the side of SlimOdds, and this bot lane as well, still 0-0-0 for PFW, which when you're playing a Xayah or Khan so strong in the early game is kind of not what you want to see.
Yeah, especially with how great the level 1 and level 2 were, and they couldn't get anything out of it. It's just sad to see.
Yeah, for sure. And I do want to pay some attention as well to the vision control here on the side of SlimOdds, because if you look at the bot side jungle of PFW, it is completely littered with wards. So any steps into this bot side jungle by TSL is gonna be known as he's fighting Darius in the top side.
Oh,
and he's dead.
Well, that's the power of the Darius thing. What can we say? He just walks up, he just one-shots you, and that's Darius gaming. Nice pick though from him.
It's, I think, good awareness still, and like you said, that's just Darius' moment. At any melee champions, or most melee champions you find in a 1v1, you are gonna beat it, but Willisang now trying to set up a gank in the bot lane.
Oh,
Oh,
Enchanted Crystal goes
Jesus.
wide. No, Bromwell does hit though. Last impression doesn't have any mana to cast the ultimate if they try to go for the dive. they are not gonna try to go for the dive. Ah, the arrow.
It's so wide, isn't it?
Almost as wide as the Yone. Oh, talking
Uh,
about Yone, we see aggressive trading in the mid lane.
Speaking of Yonald, it is gonna be almost up, so SLK gonna be able to use that Fate Seal to potentially, I feel like, look for an aggressive solo kill here, because Ginny is quite low, but
Oh
you are
no.
seeing an invade now to TCL.
Oh no, TCL. Oh wait, Benarex has
Oh.
no mana though available. Genie is there, but he's very low. That's okay. Oh, I mean, the Benarex still no mana available to him. He should just die here, to be honest. No, Willisang is coming here to support his team. That's okay. Being here, used his ultimate a little bit earlier though, is now here to join the fight, trying to do as much damage as he can. Everyone on SlimOdds is really low. They are not gonna get the passive of the Zac quite yet. Benarex now stepped up.
Oh.
Oh.
No. No. I think sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a prime example of when you just need to accept that you're dead. And especially when you're in the enemy jungle on the wrong side of the map, you are never living. So you just gotta accept that. You gotta just not burn the flash there and not do what Binarex did. But the flash is gonna be burnt nonetheless, and he's not gonna have that for the next 5 minutes. And on someone like a Darius, who, keep in mind, a very mobile champion, that is a huge cooldown to burn.
It is huge indeed. Trying to make up for all the math items he didn't use last game, but the grabs are being taken by SlimOdds, you know.
He's using a little bit too many. This guy, it's like either one end or the other, right? There's no perfect medium. It's either too many or it's not enough.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's really hard to find the fine line, but I'm a little bit worried about last impression. He does have the ultimate available, but he's just gonna clear the waves. They're just gonna try to take playthings, and well, I was worried for no reason.
Josiah is just one of those champions where you have great wave clear, so you're completely fine most of the time to be just left on your own devices. And Bannerix looking for a little bit of a setup.
Yeah, Benarex does have the flash available. No younger human does it though, but he's just gonna run out. Face rush is such a strong rule on the Gragas.
And I mean, Gloomy, this is what we talked about, right? It's so hard to kill No Longer Human because he just presses body slam, and especially with him having phase rush, it is the body slam into the auto Q, and he just right clicks his tower and walks away.
Yeah, I mean it's just such a disgusting pick, and it is an incredible good neutralizer. Like very weird that they picked the Darius into it, but still having quite some success onto the aggressive Darius top lane pick here with all the invades he did so far. Maybe.
Yeah, unfortunately, last impression not having as much success on that cannon minion, so that is gonna be a -1 for him on that one, as Dragon gonna be started up by TZL 5000 HP, but keep in mind, Willis and Ace around this could get spicy.
This could get very spicy right here. Daisy doing everything she can. This is a 6v5 overall on the map at the moment. But Willis saying whiffs everything. Nobody can hit skill shots anymore. Beautiful ultimate by General Deco here. Willis saying being 2-1 in the back line. Karma having to flash out passively. Last impression still having the ultimate available. So he could try to step up a little bit more aggressively as everybody is really low here on the side of SlimOdds. Now teleport from No Longer Human coming in. Benarex does not have the teleport available as he is playing the Ghost and it should be a free Drake. Ooh! Willisang is trying to go in for the steal, not getting it fully. Now he should die as well. No teleport available to try to save the blobs, and yeah,
I'm not entirely sure that it's worth going for the steal. If I'll be honest, it is the second Drake of the game. It is a Cloud Drake, and you are also carrying a shutdown which is now in the pocket of SOK, who was, keep in mind, already ahead in this game. Kraken Slayer already completed, so that is not a great amount of gold to
Alma
give
is
up.
now going for the engagement. Just try to one-shot General Pico, but the shield is blocking so much damage, and yeah.
I feel like last impression does not look comfortable on the Zaya, because it's okay now.
Oh my
That's a solo blow.
goodness. Well, that's the Yone pick for you, baby.
I mean, we talked about it, right? This laning phase so hard for Gujini, and he's just struggling to survive against SOK, and this is why we were sort of so skeptical about picking the Acel into the Yone because it's just such a hard lane to play out, and Yone is gonna be so much stronger. Look at the CS difference. It is 70 CS as Willisang should be able to walk over and smite this away.
I mean, Willisang
no.
do not got cancelled. Now Willisang is being forced to use the ultimate, but he is gonna get away with his life. Karma not walking up too far ahead. Ginny has the Guided Sense available to him, but Daisy trying to 1v1 the Darius is not gonna be very favorable.
Yeah, Daisy just doing, like you said it yourself earlier, right? All he can. As the Enchanted Crystal Arrow gonna go a little bit wide there, not gonna be able to hit anything. General Decoy and Stooge has made their way over here as well. Everybody's up here. This is gonna be a 5v5 is the fight.
The Acel will decide everything here in this fight, and we're gonna see who's gonna snap first. You have beautiful engagement. Willisang, big knockup. Now the Guided Sense is there's so much damage. It's just beautiful. It's damage. Last impression, hitting nobody with his E. Now Venerex flashing forward, trying to get a kill. Nobody dies. Now
That is
When
a
I
5-man cask for you, baby.
when I say I was edged in the game before, I was even more edged right now. How did nobody die in this fight?
I mean, that is insane that, like you said, everyone just ends up living, and I feel like I might have to actually hold my thought.
Oh, now they are going to engage onto the Karma. They're trying to make it so that not everybody lives. Oh no, Willisang even has to flash passively to get out, and still nobody dies.
Yeah, I feel like diving the Rakan not the ideal move right there, and going back to my earlier point, I feel like Last Impression does not look comfortable on Desire because earlier in the bot lane, as well had the Featherstorm available, could have just walked up and it was a free double kill for him, and he just didn't want to take it as there's a free kill in the bot lane. That's a big shutdown over
700 gold into the pocket of Bannerek.
Stonks.
Big stocks. That was strategy. They picked Acel into Yone to feed the Yone to give him a shutdown so Bannerix can come and collect it.
And then we win through the H. It's I think you've cracked it. But now see, now they can't do it again because now you've told everyone. So this is gonna be a one-time show.
Well, if I'm not gonna be in the cast anymore, they found me. It is -1 onto the side.
Yeah, it is unfortunate the Last Impression can't seem to find a cannon minion to save his life because that is another -1 for him as he's gonna miss out on another one, unfortunately. But you are
Another
seeing
one.
some
Sorry,
you
I didn't
are
want to
seeing some big items are the nah, it's honestly I'm loving this. I'm having a good time. But you are seeing Rod of Ages here come through for No Longer Human as well. So a lot of these sort of first item spikes are starting to come through as Karma and SOK both down towards the bot lane, but a good ward in the bush should spot out the Rakan.
To be honest, I'm really unhappy. How the fuck did he get Rod of Ages only at minute 18? He's gonna be max stacked at minute 28.
I'm sure this game will go that far.
Yeah, but like it's really, really bad. You should. I would be quite. Oh my god! The crystal arrow finally connects, but Last Impression just uses a Featherstorm. He's gonna get knocked up once again. Now finally decides to hit a knee, but he's still gonna die.
Yeah, General Deco did a great job there of just pressing the shield backwards so the feathers couldn't come through, couldn't set up the route as tier 1 in the mid lane. Gonna be secured here by the side of SlimOdds. Bannerex in trouble.
Bannerex is just gonna go for a 1-for-1 trade. Yeah, it's just gonna be 1-for-1. Nicely played out.
Bannerex ends up getting the 1-for-1 just because, right, Rakan really squishy of a champion, and I gotta admit, Gloomy, it is working. Giving Bannerex that big shutdown, the strat is coming through.
I cracked the matrix. I am in the source code.
You are in with the sauce.
When you cook too much, you are one with it. Think it's gonna be free for still. Willisang is gonna try to engage, so SOK is in a really awkward position here. Willisang is going a bit too far ahead once again. Karma W goes wide. Willisang is just gonna ult out. The Acel ult is gonna CC and hold them back to save his jungler, and what the fuck?
It's just everyone just lives again, but I gotta admit, it's another one of those where Willisang just not seem to be on the same page with the rest of his team. Goes in a little bit too aggressively, as you are seeing on the top of your screen Baron Nashor gonna be spawning now, which means another objective to play for now.
Willis
Another
Sang,
engage and attempted on Willisang, but it just does not connect.
it just doesn't want to connect. Willis Sang maybe being a little bit too aggressive. What I
Oh,
can
for sure.
say, it is something he also likes to do in in-houses.
Oh, T?
He likes to get many deaths in in-houses when he's on my team, I can tell you that much. Oh, Chris Lara finally connects onto the Zaya one more time. Now Rakan is trying to peel as much as he can so Zaya can just try to dish out damage, but nobody dies once again.
And again, last impression just refuse. Oh,
Oh,
hang
whoa,
on.
now
Oh my
re-engage. Oh, Genie killed the Asol in the top. The Yone in the top lane. So somebody did die in the end of the day.
Yeah, somebody does end up dead, and again, last impression just like he does not look comfortable on the Zaya because you can play so much more aggressive in these situations, but he just doesn't seem to know the damage is there because Tush was very CC'd up right there by Karma and a great combo out of the Rakan, but last impression instead of walking forwards, just walks backwards instead, and keep in mind Featherstorm was available as well, so he had the ultimate if something or if there is trouble arousing, and TZL was behind them as well, so the backup was there, and so far it is a gold lead to the side of SlimOdds. It is the mid jungle that are ahead, and keep in mind we said the laning phase was gonna be rough, but the laning phase is gonna be over now, and Ginny is gonna continue on scaling into this late game.
Yeah, Ginny is gonna be such a menace the longer the game goes on. At some point, she's gonna cover the whole map in his E, and the Sky Descents will kill everything. And at some point, they just can't hold the Assault tight anymore.
I saw one
But
of those champions says, I might have to hold that thought. Will it say?
it's okay. It's okay. Being in a very good position here to try to go for the flank. He has the ultimate available. Oh, Stooge with a gorgeous flash. Crystal arrow. Now, you're just gonna do everything to kill the ADC. That's the mid laner. Let's go. Now, the fight is gonna keep on going. Now, Ginny is there as well to just go on and beam. Last impression finally decides to walk forward and not backwards for the first time in this game.
A last impression, finally some confidence in him. Very good to see as the TP is gonna be coming onto as well. Ginny might be in a little bit of trouble.
That's okay, being so aggressive. He knows the limits of his champion.
I'm glad somebody does.
Now Benerex is here to join the fight though, and
Oh my God.
General Decoy with a beautiful multi-man knockup. And can Benerex get the reset? It's all that matters right here.
Oh my God.
I can hear the smite pings.
I can hear the pings. I can hear the pings.
Now the fight is gonna keep on going. Benerex is not gonna get his reset. They are gonna die. Beautiful E-flash. I don't think it was needed, but it was beautiful.
Oh, Gloomy, the spam pings right after the Baron was stolen. Oh,
Well,
oh,
we got confirmation. Stoosh hyped his mid laner up. It was not a flame ping.
yeah, it was not the side of PFW flaming. Stoosh just absolutely hyped and just absolutely on fire about the fact that Ginny just walked in and just sort of spew lightning all over Baron, and I looked at TCL Smite. The Smite was on cooldown. As we can look back here, and I gotta admit, like you said it yourself, Gloomy, Stoosh with a beautiful flash here, but unfortunately, this is just AD carry life. You can have a beautiful flash, but the Yone, he's got flash and he's got a million times more damage than you, so he's just gonna run you down nonetheless, and no matter how well you play it. And like we said, last impression, finally some confidence into the Zaya, walks forward instead of walking backwards, ends up doing a ton of damage, securing the kill, and again, we all know how the Baron went.
Well, I don't think Peaches will, if they watch this game, want to get reminded of what just happened. But now, Ginny gonna get what this? I don't. That's okay. Solo killing the Asol going on a killing spree.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I was watching there either, but it is gonna be SOK with another kill.
With a
Willisang
stick.
though?
Ooh, he does go forward. Finally hits a CC, but I mean, Crystal Arrow goes wide once again. And Benerex taking the bot tower, gonna try to run down no longer human, no longer the Gragas does not have to finish. Oh, but it is Gragas.
And again, it's just every time Bannerex looks for a kill, it's the phase rush and walk away.
Wulisang is going in. He's just gonna hit the CC onto Zaya. Zaya is gonna get perma CC. She is not allowed to press the ultimate button. And she is also doesn't need to. She's just, there's so much damage. SOK just killing the Darius. And now, oh, who's killing the Drake? It is Wulisang killing the Drake, but he's gonna die for it. And the rest of the team should be able to get out. Now, SOK once. Oh, this damage is disgusting.
Oh, SOK is absolutely demolishing the side of SlimOdds. The Infinity Edge and Kraken Slayer doing so much damage with those crits no longer healing. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, it is gonna be a 1-for-1. Ginny has to flash out last impression, stepping forward, finally grew some balls, and never mind.
I really hope whoever who was watching that docked that one, because that, I'm sure, went intercontinental with how wide it was. The cask just does not connect, and Ginny ends up living there, as well again, a sliver of HP. SOK might be able to secure this bot lane tower, but Gloomy, I gotta admit, this SOK, Yumi, or Yone is damn strong.
It is damn strong indeed. I would say it never fucking mind.
And now he's dead.
That's indeed. And
it's like another shot down to Bannerex. There, it's the strat. It's the strat.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I mean, the only thing you really can blame on SOK here is that he stepped up a bit too far in the side lane. But it's just, if you're a melee champ into the Darius, it doesn't matter if you're fat, it doesn't matter if you one-shot the ADC, the Darius is just gonna run you down.
The Enchanted Crystal are doing a lot of the work there.
I did not see
well.
that. I am very. I turned around for 1 second and I did not see it. I apologize.
There was a big arrow from base and it was big CC.
Well, then I did not see that as I was turning around for 1 second. I apologize.
Homer just could not move, and this 3 items onto SOK now. Bloodthirster finished up, but it does seem like Bannerex is the kryptonite of SOK, and whenever this man's gonna shut down, Bannerex is around to collect it.
He is there to collect it indeed. It's the medieval days and he wants his taxes, but now Wulisang is going forward, going wide, like everything in this game so far.
Everything might be going wide, but the arrow hits
SOK. Oh, SOK also going wide. Oh, the Sky Descent is doing no damage at all. But it is a fight indeed. Last impression trying to do as much damage as he can. Wulisang cannot move to save his life. Last impression just autoing. Now the passive is being procced. No longer human, being completely alone in the backline, but it's just soaking so much damage. Stoosh being completely low. Daisy is trying to kill the ADC. Bannerex is there. SOK missing his ability. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is on cooldown now. Beautiful CC from Bannerex here. Now going for it. The passive stacks have been procced. Now they are going to try to peel for the ADC, but it is not needed. Bannerex is the meat grinder and it doesn't matter. He says you're vegan, I don't care. I'm making you into a sausage.
Bannerex is dunking, baby. He is just moving on everybody and Gloomy. I said it earlier. SOK is the kryptonite or Bannerex is the kryptonite of SOK, and again, the second Bannerex steps into this fight, SOK just loses all his hands, and a great flash here out of Bannerex forward, gets the pullback, 1 dunk, and just keeps going with the resets. The Feather Storm is not enough to keep Last Impression alive into another dunk, and it is just heads being collected by a Bannerex. Give this Ben an axe instead of a hoop, because he is decapitating.
Oh, he is decapitating indeed. He is going for the NBA All-Star.
He's already got it.
He already. Oh damn. Okay, right. He's trying to get into the Hall of Fame. It's just I'm not big on NBA. Is there like a Hall of Fame in the NBA?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's like, yeah.
I mean, Michael Jordan's probably in there now.
I would assume so.
Oh, I would also just.
Like one of the best basketball players of all time. I would assume that
like
somewhere.
Crystal Arrow is missing. Michael Jordan would have hit that.
Oh, he would have definitely gotten a hell of a closer than Stoosh was right there, but like you said, unfortunately goes a little bit wide. And I'm gonna be a little bit critical here of the ASOL pick because we said Ginny would scale, and I would love to see how many stacks he does have at this point
Oh,
into the game. As that's
SLE
okay.
trying to counter Benedict and
321 stacks on Ginny so far, so he's definitely scaling, but so far this ASOL has not done a ton of damage.
I really don't like this from SOK. He now doesn't have the ultimate available for the Drake fight. It is coming up. Getting nothing. Benaric's just in a very good position here. Willisang going in alone once again, but the team is there to follow him up instantly. Last impression just going to try to go into this, get into a safe position, and SlimOdds just got the position for the Drake free.
Yeah, they do have the control of the river, but Willisang again.
Oh, Willisang just going in. Willisang doesn't want to win, it feels like. He is going to get... Oh, he is going to get out, but now how much damage can the rest of SlimOdds deal to do as much as he can? SOK still doesn't have the ultimate available. Benarix is in their face. Can he get the reset? He does close... Oh, he does get the heal from his Kudo to go back into the fight. His ultimate reset did not go off,
God.
and everyone... Ginny is finally scaling, I would say, and it just looks like SlimOdds scaled.
Yeah, so far the late game's been going great for them. TCL could be in trouble as well, but the root caller, great job to stop Ginny there on the flight. And like you said, the scaling has just come through for them. But again, I gotta say, Bannerex, my man, he's absolutely smoking the side of PFW because this Darius just refuses to die.
Yeah, he refuses to die indeed. He did not get the reset on his ultimate, but he did get the healing, he did get the damage, and at this point Ginny is also there. And now Ginny is flying into the fountain, and that is game. SlimOdds, or maybe not so clean, 2-0.
Bannerex Blydon not gotten the execution there, but they end up executing this Nexus of PFW as that is a swift 2-0 for SlimOdds. And Gloomy, I gotta admit, this looked like a pretty damn good 2 games for them.
Wait, I'm sorry, I did not hear you properly. I'm sorry. What did you say?
I just said that that it looked really strong for SlimOdds
It
for these 2 games.
did look strong indeed. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit tired already, but it was really strong performance here from SlimOdds, especially Benarix on the tank, on the Darius. Like where's bots, especially in game 2, where fought Peach Fish Wolf is in a really good position, but then just Benarix decided to like, nah, I'd win, and then they just did win in the end. Like I just big congrats on Benarix for this performance here.
Oh yeah, for sure. And just overall, I feel like the side of SlimOdds really did well to shut down SOK later stages of that game because they could definitely tell that the biggest issue, right, was the Yone. SOK was just tearing through SlimOdds, but Bannerix kind of memorized him. And in this team fight, you could just see his main sort of thought was, how do I shut down SOK? How do I stop this Yone? And as soon as they figured that out, they just kind of took the game.
They took the game indeed. The ASOL feeding strategy did work out overall, and they did hack the matrix. They did take the right pill, and they did take the win in the end of the day.
And Bannerex again, securing 2 shutdowns on SOK and a great job out of him. And just great 2 games overall. I'm very glad that I got to cast them with you and cast the last series of our regular season. But who would you say is your MVP of the day for these 2 games? Who do you think played the best?
First of all, I also want to say it was an honor for me as well, and my MVP is definitely the Bannerex. I don't think anyone else could, unless you want to say ASOL for giving the shutdown to the Yone. I think it definitely has to be Bannerex for these 2 games.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think Bannerex, especially I wanna say, in that game too, I think really just showed what he's made of on the Darius because we said it wasn't an easy matchup for him, right? They really got nothing done in the early game just because of how good of a neutralizer Gragas is. But still, when we went through those late game fights, right, mid game, once he got out of that laning phase and out of that top lane, he did really well. Just at gathering shutdowns out of SOK and a great job out of him. But again, that's gonna wrap us up for tonight. Thank you to you, Gloomy, for joining me on this wonderful cast. I had a blast and a great time. And as much as I meme Peppa for for missing solo kills, as much as I meme him for missing team fights, a big thank you to him for always getting the show together and being in the background with us. And thank you to everyone who was watching as well and everyone who hung out with us or hung out with Gloomy at least for these two series. A very big thanks to you, Gloomy, for covering them both. I'm sure your voice is exhausted by now, so we're gonna let you and everyone else to go to bed. Thank you to everyone for watching, and we will see you next time.